Wouldn't it be cool to see with your ears? Today I'm going to show you how I echolocate. You will be able to hear exactly what I hear and see exactly what I see, and this way you will be able to learn step by step how to do echolocation. So first, how do we do the hearing? I got myself a set of binaural microphones. They sit right inside my ears. The microphone sits in the ear canal, so it uses exactly my ears to gather all the sound distortions that the cartilage creates, and this way you will get a full 3D audio experience. Let's have a test. I'm going to connect this to a dictaphone. Bear in mind that you're facing me, but I'm going to give you it's from my perspective what you'll hear in a second. Right, and this way you'll be able to hear exactly what I'm hearing. For you to be able to get my head movements, I'm going to mount a camera on my head. This is going to look a little bit stupid, but I don't care because I'm going to be doing this at night anyways, because at night you'll get a better audio, it's quieter at night. So yeah, you'll be able to see exactly what I see, how I move my head, and correlate it with what you hear, exactly as I hear it. The video is split into several levels of difficulty, from a warm-up, level 0, to a more advanced stuff, and then at the very end there is a test for you to test yourself. I don't think it's a very difficult test, but let me know if you manage to get some confidence in locating the objects that I ask you to locate. Yeah, so let's get right to it. So this is going to be our first exercise, just as a warm-up to prepare your ears for spotting echo. It's going to be very clear. I'm doing it with a castanet, and that's always facing forward, wherever you see, in the direction of sight. Yeah, generally lots of echo coming from everywhere. Don't worry if you don't know where it's coming from or why. This is just a warm-up for you to get used to the time scales of when echo arrives back. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming from all over the place. Okay, there is a human on a bicycle. Could you hear the human on the bicycle? Okay, we are now in a place where there is nothing else but just the wall. And it will reflect back whatever signal we send. So here I have a castanet. Okay, let's come closer. Okay, let's go outwards, and I'm going to point out backwards that castanet. Okay. The sound's getting louder and comes back sooner, right? So that's the principle. It bounces back exactly at the shortest distance, so exactly perpendicular. None of these walls to the left, the sound does not come back from them. The sound bounces off and goes somewhere else. The one area from which it bounces back is directly in front of us. Now let's keep this. Hope you can hear that it comes back directly in front of us. This is different from the corners. The corners reflect under in all possible angles. Let's do edge detection here on this thing. There is a wall, and as I'm going to move into the passageway, you'll hear the sound disappear. Okay, this is difficult because there is also that building that reflects the sound. You need to be very careful at distinguishing. Okay, I can hear a clear difference. Let's do edge detection. Okay, a bit farther away. Okay, farther. Okay, so I'm pretty much in the middle of nowhere. There's just a big field. It's in the middle of a park. But in the middle of that field, there is a bunch of trees and bushes. And so a small kind of island of bushes. And let's see what the echo is when I direct my castanet into nothingness. Yeah, that's the sound. But now as I slowly turn towards the trees, you'll hear at first on the right side, then in the central direction, you'll hear the echo. Let's get closer. Okay. Yeah, the echo is rather spread out. It's not a single click coming back. even though it's a single click pretty much being sent. That's because the trees and all the trees have some volume. There is a certain depth. So the very first branches or leaves, I think these are mostly branches, the first branches reflect sound quickly at first, and then only the latter parts, the rear parts, reflect sound. And that's about, well, possibly even half of the distance. So the first branches are about, I don't know, 7 meters away, and the latter branches are probably about 15 meters away. So yeah, that's why the echo will have a certain texture to it that's not just a single click. And from that texture, from that depth, you can comprehend the depth of the whole bunch. Ah, this is an example of a wall. There is a certain reverberation which is very distinctive for floral. And then that is a very structure, kind of very flat wall. There are technically 3 walls, well, 2 corners. Technically what we should be able to hear is a wall and that corner, nothing more, because all the sound that bounces from any of the other 2 walls is actually not coming back to us, only from the corner maybe. Yeah. So there you go. That's the wall. Yeah. Technically you could use those gear changes. You could just change gears to create the sound that makes echo. So at some point, after lots of practice, you should be able to tell that there are 2 trees and not one big one. But there is one here and also one there. But that will come with months and months of practice, of kind of everyday practice, if you want to distinguish that. Okay, so now we are going to do something different. I have a JBL here, and which will give me a sound source, of a bleeping sound source. Let's have a listen. Okay, let's step outside. Okay, this should give us a frame of reference as to which way we are facing. So now we are facing the sound source. 90 degrees is coming from the left, then 180 degrees it's coming from behind, then 270 degrees it's coming from the right. Okay, so you technically shouldn't be needing any visual for this. We can perfectly know which way we are facing. So let's make a spin around. Okay, so first spin completed. Now let's go leftwards. Okay. So that's it. If any blind people are watching this, let me know what have you seen through the echo? Where were the bushes? If you enjoyed this video, feel free to tell me if you want a second part. I don't care, I'll do a second part probably anyways. And if you didn't enjoy this video, feel free to unsubscribe.